Hello again, everybody. This is Sebastian Keynes, and this is going to be another video on DragonHeir Selling Gods. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the Temporal Vortex, as we are now at level 4. And I'm going to just give you some tips and how you can make this type of composition work for you, especially if you do have the Ice Blast heroes that you can make this work for you. So as you can see here, I actually just really started not only farming the dungeons because we have the double legendary drop rates, but I just took whatever gear I was able to get, put it all together, and tried to make this composition work based on the roster that I have to try to help me into getting the top chest that I can get in level 4. So the tank is going to be Garius. Garius is very good for this regard, and he's going to have the staff as the legendary artifact here. But Garius is very good when it comes to healing and also providing shields, which allows us to sustain. So as you can see here, I actually have a broken set, but they're all legendary pieces that I was able to get from Curse and Venom. And I'm still working on trying to get some optimal runes here. So that's essentially what I'm going for. In terms of the set, really, the only reason that I'm really going for it is to get him some skill haste. So I'm at 100 skill haste, just trying to get those heals and those shields up as soon as possible. I was trying to work with timings and trying to get things settled down. But essentially what I did is that when it comes to this particular example here for the skilled timings, I really was just looking for Catherine to put the block debuffs up right before the boss places defense down. And that's really what I was going for. If I try messing around too much with Vinaraya's attack down or trying to settle in my Girthen to match the speed of Shana, things would get off a little bit of hand and I would actually lose damage. And in some cases, I would actually lose survivability if I waited for Vinaraya to put her attack up at a certain situation. So because I have the hourglass on her, I just let her go, place the attack up wherever she could. So one of the things that you can do if you don't have the hourglass is that you can actually use more skill haste on your runes, if that is one, or use gear to get it up to 100 if that's what you need to get it through. You just need to make sure that she goes as often as possible to get that attack down as much as possible. As you can see here, my two frost heroes are going to be Girthen and is going to be Shana. And you can actually do different combinations here with most of the Ice Blast heroes. They're all very good. If you have the exclusive Bellevue, he does the job just as well. Shana just happens to unlock Girthen so much that she can actually put the damage output out there. And if I was to bring another Ice Blast hero here with somebody else that could provide defense up and heals at the same time and sustain us a little bit longer, this comp would actually give us more damage. And I'm talking about Gillian and Asilia more specifically. Those two Radiant heroes will do a great job here. They could even complement Gethrin if that's what you decide to do. You wouldn't need the attack down. But it's something that you can experiment based on your roster here in Season 2. So essentially what I can tell you is that I've been doing a lot of mix and match with the Inventor set and the good old reliable Gambler set. In Season 1, I put everybody in Gambler set, especially if I was dealing in Bothas or I was dealing with the Vortex. That was my preferred set. But given that we had the Inventor set, I had to look to see where I could get the most damage. And given that she gets a little bit more damage bonus with the Inventor set, and she has her ult is essentially one hit, right? But one of the things that I was really figuring out as I was testing a lot of this composition is that the Inventor set actually worked best for Girthen, but when it came to Shana, she actually lost a little bit of damage. And I do think that that has a lot to do with how often this is proccing. So it might be some RNG with Shana when it comes to this. But for Shana, because her ultimate is a multi-hit, she actually benefits more from the Gambler set. And as you can see here, she also has the Witcher Remains, the defense down here. due to that same reason. And so if you have the epic version of the defense downs, the crown, you can definitely use that in that case. But I'm doing it because she does have the multi hit, so I'm giving up a little bit of damage for accuracy, but she still can do some damage with the 3200 attack and try to get us a little bit of damage in that regard. So wherever I could find a piece that had attack percentage is what I really wanted to place on her. As you can see, this is not the best gambler set there. This gear can be improved and a little bit more, but it's something that we can keep working on. And as you can see, Gethrin, same thing. Wherever possible, attack percentage is really the desired stat that I was going for. Attack percentage chest, and then the runes, critical damage and attack. And if you can give her some skill hits, you can, but she's already going so fast that we might as well use the wherever possible, give her the opportunity to kind of be in pace with Shana if at all possible. So here's what I'm going to do, just to kind of give you an example of where this is it's going to go. I am using the defense aura here for this based on the composition. Oh, by the way, Catherine, I did put her in the ancestral set, so she is taking a little bit of the damage for our damage dealers, our DPS units. And of course, you saw me already with Garius. I told you that I had him in a split set. I tried getting the damage onto him. You can if you want to. It's just I found it that it worked better if he's just going a little bit faster, so he can heal us and he give us the shields a little bit. And in regards to Veneraya, so this is where I actually picked up about 2.5 million damage, is that I put her in this new Zero set. So the Zero set essentially is working like the Brotherhood set that we had in season 1, except that in this case it's conditional because she does need to place a debuff for us to gain an attack buff, or our allies to get the attack buff. So since she has the attack down and I already have accuracy built into her for her to do that, you know, might as well try her out on the set. Once I added that set to this composition, that's when it got me to top chest, and things worked out phenomenal for that. So I'm gonna let this run, and then I'll come back when the run looks almost to be over, and we'll give you some closing thoughts. So as the run is winding down here, you can tell there's still a lot of work to do with this composition. So we certainly, number one, can probably get more damage out of them if we give them the absolute best gear possible. Number two, as you saw, my DPS and Catherine went down first. Ideally, you want your tank to go down first. So that's something that I'm going to be maneuvering around, trying to tinker and see if we can actually increase the score. But the fact that with the gear that we have, which is suboptimal to say the least, we still managed to get the top key. Not only that, I was, just trying to get one attack down to cycle as fast as possible to get this going. And as you saw, Catherine it's unlocked by Shana. There are other ways to make Ice Blast teams work, and I can tell you, if I had somebody like a Cilia or Gillian to take Catherine's spot, and they would give me more heals, more protection. Definitely they have the defense up and stuff like that. That I could possibly bring in another one. I could bring in like a Beblin that I can bring in to help me do some damage. The run may not last long, but definitely you would get more damage out of them. Let me see here. Frost. Let's I slipped by that. Yeah, so Bledin does a good job at unlocking and doing damage with the Ice Blast 2 with Shana. He's an excellent combination to go with her, with Catherine. They would certainly all work together well. Beldel is the exclusive, so if you have your hands on him, and let's say you don't have Shana, this composition with the epic should work just as well. And then of course we have Sorak. Now Sorak is not the most desired one out of the three, but he will complement any of the Ice Blast heroes that you have. You can't boost Gerthen as much as Shina and Rodel, but if you get him in a composition with either one of these two other legendaries, you'll see your damage increase phenomenally. So that's kind of what a preview of the Ice Blast team that I have going here in the Temporal Vortex. And like I told you, there's so many ways to really optimize this team. Take advantage of the gear sets that are available in Curse and Venom, of course. And as I told you, you can experiment with the Gambler in the Inventor set to see which one will give you the most damage. And as soon as I improve this Gambler set to get more attack on her, this hopefully will rev up her damage, and she can actually help Gerthen along with trying to get her damage up. So I will continue to try to get this composition to work a little bit better. Once I get some better ancestral gear, I'm gonna start actually swapping that around and get that on Garius here, and then let Catherine do the heals. And we do have an event coming up, which is the Ardith event, and I will be summoning for that because I will have to at least do 20 to collect the lunar fragments that we're going to need to get the legendary. So maybe something comes along there that will help me even improve this. So fingers crossed on that, but that's kind of a preview of the Ice Blast team that I have going for my Vortex team. And the reason that I wanted to show it to you now, and the reason that I'm glad that it worked on this rotation, is because right now the rotation is given the advantage to the poison teams. And of course it says here, anytime you receive a healing and you have a 30% of dispelling a debuff. Well, I didn't want to be too dependent on that, so that's why I timed Catherine a little bit better, so I didn't take advantage of this. So it was just a straight run, just to see what we could do. And of course, there's so much work that we can do to try to get this optimized. And then down the line, I'll try to compare it to my old wild team that I used last season and see which one can do better. But I can tell you that from comparing this one to last season's Flora team, it was a lot easier to gear this than Flora, because Flora, of course, is all dependent on enlightenment and attack percentage. So you had to get the right stats on her. You had to make sure that Tononan did her defense or her ultimate at the right time and time things down with Erich. In this one, you can see Gurthan is just going so fast. Her ultimate comes back around really quickly, and she can really take advantage of those ice crystals being built up. So I hope that kind of helps you in terms of forming your team for the Temporal Vortex, especially to get you to level 4. So then you can collect all the Clipside that you're going to need to make sure that you can get as much of the resources as possible at the end of the season at the season shop. Thank you all very much for tuning in and watching. As always, if you have any questions, please comment below. Like and subscribe. See you all next time on the next DragonHeir Southern Gods video.